it was really scanty. There was no much of female in the tech industry. So I'm always working in a company whereby we have maybe 30 guys and just two guys, maybe the secretary, two ladies, the secretary and me. It's been it's been like that for it was like that for so many years before women started embracing tech. How did I get into tech? It was actually not what I planned for. And I studied business admin, so I'm not a computer science student. I practically studied business admin. But while I was in school, because I was already writing programs. I was already a programmer before gaining admission at all. While I was in school, I used to write projects for computer science department. So I write their project. I teach the people who want to learn programming then in my spare time in school. How do I get into tech? I'm just going to be sharing my experience so that it will help us and challenge us to go for it. I remember after secondary school, I was looking for a job, just trying to prepare yourself for schools and you just want to do something. I was looking for a job and I got a job in an IT firm. And the position was because I could not even switch on a laptop or a system as I then. I don't know anything. In fact, the owner of the company just pitied me to bring me in. So he gave me office assistant. So office assistant, I was always in one corridor, one corner there, just taking notes, attendance, people out timing and all that. I was there. The highest I could do that even involve any technical thing was to make copies, photocopies. But anytime and seriously, my office was outsketch, like the main office, it was outside the main office. So I really don't get to see what is going on in the main office. But anytime I go in, I saw that people are writing different kind of jargons, and I'm wondering what are these guys writing? Like I don't get it. What are they writing? So I started taking my time to speak to some of them to see what they are doing. And on my own, I started picking interest and I started waiting an hour after closing because I don't have a system. So the system given to me as the office assistant, it was even as good as dead. So I usually wait after working hours just to browse through the system and see what is going on. That was the beginning of my experience into programming. That was how I started learning some few basic things about programming. I started with HTML and I was learning gradually. While I was there, someday I used to dodge for my boss because I don't want the man to feel like I'm neglected by job and doing anything. I never knew the man was taking note of all of those things. 3 months into my job, he called me to his office and said, I've been seeing you doing some coding, doing some things. Okay, tell me, how far? What can you do? What can you do now? I was shocked and I was shaking because really, I just started this thing. I was just trying to lay my hands on this thing on my own. Like I don't, it's just also, he said, okay, I'm going to get someone else in the office assistant position. I'm going to give you 1 month. All you need to do is to come to this office. They will assign a computer to you. Come to the office, then take your studies. They are going to, people will put you through. So I'm giving you 1 month. So he gave me a condition. He said, after that 1 month, if you don't catch up with what I want you to catch up to the extent that I want you to catch up, it means that you don't have a job again because we would have admit another person at the office assistant position and we can't tell the person to go. So you will have to go. Trust me. I felt like I shouldn't have tried. Like, which one did I put myself into like this? Sorry, please, are you with me?
Yes,
Hello.
we
Okay,
can hear
thank you.
you.
We're here.
So thank you so much.
Yes, I
So
can
I
hear
was
you.
like, which one did I put myself into? So I started giving it my best. Started giving it my best. Started learning. So even till now, when I go for jobs interview, or I go to for some business proposals, I used to tell them basically about the whole 10 years that I spent learning. I learned majorly on the job, not like I particularly take a training for most of those things. It was just an on the job thing. So after 1 month, I was able to design a static website. A static website is a website that is not really responsive, it's just there. That was the website in those days. If you have a static website, you have a website now, you are still somebody. Yes. So I started designing static website, and it was so shocked that I could catch up in that speed. Wow. So from there, I started taking lessons because the firm has a school for people who want to learn. Started taking basic lessons. And maybe because I was taking, when you impart knowledge, if you impart 50%, 50% is coming back to you. So maybe because I was teaching, I was understanding the thing more. And that was how I just got to my peak. I became so good that I became someone that you really cannot do without. So that was just how the journey started. And gradually, this particular company that I was talking about, I worked for them because I started with them, and because I learned everything that I was then, as I then with them. I worked for them for more than 5 years, even when they were paying me so keen, but I couldn't go. You just feel like this is where I started all of these things. I feel guilty anytime people give me opportunity and saying this is a better opportunity, live where you are. I feel guilty in my heart, like, no, I've been here. These people are, if not because of these people, this offer that you are offering me now, you won't offer me because I won't have the skill. So I worked until they finally left Nigeria. So the whole business was they moved out of Nigeria. So that was when I proceed. But from before they left, I have moved. I've learned about 5 programming language. So I've learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, my PHP, my SQL. I've learned those languages, and I've engaged in different projects, work with federal government projects, work with Nigeria Institute of Architects, their Archibutes, do a lot of work with and there's this Nigerian Computer for Women, something, I've forgotten their this thing. Knew it. So I worked with them and all that. That was how the journey began. As for product design, I think I got into product design January last year. So this is just my first year in product design, and it's been interesting. Now let's move to the main topic: how to access opportunities in tech. Wow, there are opportunities in tech, no doubt, and they are accessible as easy as any other profession. Like I used to tell people that come to me, like, they're interested in this, they're interested in that. One thing I find out about people is that so many people are confused on where, okay, they want to switch to tech, but they are confused on where exactly they want to be. Okay, in some will tell you, I want to learn. When I put out a post about programming, they want to learn programming. When I'm saying something about product design, they want to learn product design. If I'm saying something about data analyst, they want to learn data analyst. So it's one common problem that I find out about people. So they are confused on. So the first advice I usually give is that go online, then look, just type tech professions, look through them. You take a little time to read through, just read through, okay, what do they do here? What do they do here? What do they do here? Go through it. Then while going through it, you must definitely find someone that connects more with you. Oh, okay. I feel like I like this one. I feel like I can keep up with this one because it's important that you go for something that you can keep up with. And sometimes you don't know what exactly you can keep up with until you try it. So on my timeline, most of the time, I used to scream, test your interest. Test your interest. They know I say that a lot. Test your interest. So when people ask me, okay, how do we get to test our interest? Because you used to say test your interest. Okay, I don't like to, aside the fact that the internet now, everybody is scared because everybody is just looking for where to make money from. I don't sell courses to people like that. I make sure that I allow you to go test your interest first. If you feel it's something that you can do and you are ready to invest in it, then you can come. So what I tell people is this, go to Google, go to YouTube. If you want to be a data analyst now, go to YouTube. There are millions of resources there. It's even easier now. When I was learning, no tutorial such on YouTube, nothing. You have to learn, debug your code all by yourself. Nothing. Now, if you go to YouTube and type programming or type web development stuff, now you're going to see several videos. If you look at those videos, the latest I've seen, like the one they uploaded late will be in like 2017. So that was when people started uploading more programming videos on video. And I was learning since 2012. So no resources as such on YouTube. But now if you go to YouTube, if you want to learn data science, as long as you are committed, you'll be learning from beginning to expert, from beginners to expert. I'm telling you, you don't even have to, if you must invest money in anything programming, maybe you just want to invest in mentorship. Because I used to tell people, it's not like I cannot teach you this thing, but you cannot pay me. If you want to do any programming course now that will give you full package of what you want, complete, you can't pay less than 400,000. But there are resources on YouTube. If you know that you really want to do this and you know it is something that you want to do, there are resources on YouTube. 2 hours of your time every day on YouTube. Between now and June, you will become a guru. I'm not lying about it. You will become an expert. Just pick 2 hours. Okay, if you used to sleep for 10 hours or 8 hours, just determine that within this period that I want to learn this thing, I'll make my sleeping time just 6 hours. Let me take out 2 hours from it to learn. Do that for 6 months. You will become an expert, no doubt. The only thing you can now do is get somebody to guide you, put you through, or direct you when you have issues, when you have questions that, okay, watching videos, you can't ask the person questions most of the time. That's the only thing I feel like can be the only challenge. But if you really want to learn, when I started product design, before I started investing money in it, I make sure that I test my interest. Did I really want to do this? So I went to YouTube. I started watching some videos about product design. I started watching some videos. The only reason that made me know that I want to do this was because I kept going back to it. So I wasn't tired. I would go back to it and watch. Today I will watch. Today I will watch. That was what determined the fact that I have interest in it. If I had watched 1 or 2 days or 3 and I was tired, I just leave it. Then it means it did not cut my interest. But if it is something that you are interested in, immediately you start, it will be difficult to go back. You will just you will find yourself. But I understand people are busy now, businesses, you're thinking about your business, you are PM in the morning, you are out, you come back home tired. I totally understand. But if you want to plan for your future, and one of the things you're looking at is to to be in the tech space, you have to create that time. Don't let those businesses or whatever you're doing now steal those time. You have to create that time. Like I used to tell myself, okay, in the next 5 years, this is what I want to be able to achieve. Then I spend 1 hour every day learning about that thing. 1 hour every day learning about that thing. So I do it consistently like that. When I started programming, I have my colleagues, I was designing. I was actually designing and I was basically working for authors. So I designed their books, I designed their workbook and all that. But when I started product design, some of my colleagues that were just doing designs together, normal design, when I started seeing my product design post, they was like, Toyin, when did you start this again? I just tell them, guys, me, I cannot stay in one listing. If I have my lifestyle is kind of a lifestyle that I've mastered something and I've gained expertise in something, I look into another thing. I don't stay like I don't want to stay there. Okay, I have mastered this thing. If you bring your job, it is very sure that I'm going to give you 100% perfect work. Once I am done, I move into something else. Just that, just that I don't allow whatever I am doing to entirely go out of my skills. So if you still look at product design, you look at programming, they still work together because when a product design is done designing the product, the next batch of people that work on the product are the developers. So, and developers and product designers, they need to work together. So somebody like me having the two together. So if I'm in a company where they have their product design team and I'm in the developer team, I know what I should be getting from me because I understand both field. So if I'm in product design, the company and the web developers, I know what I should be discussing with you because I understand both field. So I let whatever skills that I'm picking still be around my main course. So to access all of these things, like I said, first you need to start learning. Go to YouTube, go to Google, type professions that are under tech. We have data analyst, data science, we have machine learning, we have web programmers, we have tech support, we have product designers. Look at all of these courses, read about them. We have technical writing. Technical writing is part of tech courses. Look at them and say, okay, I've read about all of these things. Start reading about it and you feel like, oh, okay, I think I want to try data analysis, for instance. Go from there, move to YouTube. Data analyst for beginners. Start with that. The way I watch my YouTube video, if I watch a video for 10 minutes and I did not grab what the person is saying, I don't get tired. It's not like I will now go and say, oh, I don't understand. I look for another video. You know, you will have series of videos of same topic. I look for another video. I keep clicking on another video until I get one that perfectly explains it the way I understand something. Because everybody has the way they understand something. So if I click on one and that one is using so much technical terms that I did not understand as a beginner, I move, I keep moving until I get to one that comes down to my level and say, oh, okay, I think I want to start with this. Then I keep going, I subscribe to that kind of person's channel. I look through all their videos and that's how I learn. At long run, if there's a need for me to buy a course or pay someone, I am not paying from the place of ignorance. So that is key. I am not paying from the place of ignorance, like I don't know anything about. I already have basic knowledge. So if you want to give me something, because some people will tell you, and this is their course, eventually they will only teach you the basic. They will only teach you the basics. But if you already understand the main course, the basis, if you see their outline or whatever they send to you, sorry, please. If you see the outline or whatever they send to you, you will have an idea that this is the basic course that you want to teach me. I don't think I need this. I have moved past this stage. So don't just go to someone and say, I want to learn without having your basic knowledge. YouTube is there for you. Go and pick your basic knowledge there. You might not even need to pay if you catch up things very fast. You might not need to pay. You will just find yourself spending majority of your time on YouTube, and it will be worth it. It will be worth it. I started learning. I'm a web programmer right from the beginning, but this year I started learning data analysis because I just want to do something aside from web. I started learning data analysis, and I started on YouTube. I have a videos that I'm watching currently on YouTube. It's 12 hours. 12 hours video that I'm watching on YouTube. And trust me, that 12 hours video, it can take me like sometimes 48 hours because I'll keep going back. Where I do not understand, I'll do playback, I'll move, I'll do playback. So it's not like I'm going to cover it for that 12 hours. I might cover it for 48 hours, 72 hours, depending on my availability. So get to know all of these things, get to start from somewhere, then continue to learn. Continue to learn. As you're learning, don't just learn. I have a student who just signed up for my programming class. The father saw my post on Facebook and reached out to me. She's just about 15 years. When I had meeting with the father and he was explaining that he has paid somebody, but he did not feel like they gave her the value that he wanted. So I talked to them, I discussed my views with them, and the lady started. When she starts, I found out that it's not like she did not know these things. They already taught him. That's why you can't come to me and condemn somebody to me like, hey, I paid somebody and the person did not teach me. When I was doing into basic design, I used to get that a lot. I paid somebody, the person did just show me basic, did not teach me. I would say the basic that the person showed you, what have you been doing with it? Because if you have been working with that basic that the person showed you, you will be getting better. But people just learn things and they just keep it there. I found that was the same thing this girl was experiencing. They paid and they actually taught her, but she went back home after the class and she wasn't doing anything about it. So when she came to my class, when she started my class, I started noticing good of, and the first thing I told her is that I'm not going to teach you anything in this class. I'm not going to teach you. The only thing I'll be doing to you is that I'm going to be giving you small projects. Small projects that you'll be doing on your own. If you have challenges, if you have errors, you can come to me. Because that's the only way you can build yourself. It's not by teaching. I won't continue to teach you. Anytime you come to my house to learn, what do you always see me doing? It's either I'm coding or I'm watching a particular video. I say, thank you. Thank God that you are seeing all of these things. Because it's not something you will learn and go and sit down at home and start rubbing your system. You have to keep learning. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it. So by the time you start on YouTube and you start learning the basic things, that you start doing some small projects. Okay, I was teaching somebody JavaScript, which thing, and he learned it to some point, and he was saying, I think I want to learn more. I think I'm not getting it more. And I said, okay, I'm not saying you don't deserve to learn no more, but go and build something with the basic that you are learning. Go online and look for small basic JavaScript projects and work on it. Now she's feeling proud. I did stopwatch today. She told me I did stopwatch today. I did to-do list today. She called me and tell me, I said, that is it. It's not by learning, it's by putting it to work. Whatever basic thing that you learn, make sure that you do a small project. Because if you want to access opportunity in tech, if you want to do anything, Tech people, they believe so much in what have you done, what's your job, where's your portfolio. That's their language. That's their familiar language. Where's your portfolio? But even if it's two, three just projects that you have in your portfolio, you will see somebody that is willing to consider. Then you look for internship. After you start all of these things, even as you're learning in your basic skill, one thing I do tell my people that learn from me or people that seek advice that, okay, I'm learning this thing and this thing, I ask them, how have you been making use of your social media? And they say, they only go there to, most people only go there to, gone are those days that tech people just sit with system and do all of this, but they are embracing social media now. So if you're learning, if you start today and you just write a single line of code, go online. I said, I started my JavaScript tutorial today. This is what I was able to do. You are selling yourself, even at your learning stage. You're selling yourself. You'll be surprised that somebody will reach out to you one day and say, come and show me this thing. How do you do it? Okay, I have a job for you. And can you take it? You will be surprised. Don't learn and don't stop learning and not carrying people along. So you learn your skills, and the only person that knows is you, your family member, your friends. They are not the one that will pay for your skills. You have to be online as you are learning. You are learning small as you are learning. You have to keep saying it online. This is what we did today in class. This is what I learned today. This is it. This is it. Across all social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, you will be surprised that the opportunities. Okay, this lady I'm talking about that came from my class. How did the father get to me? I think somebody that is following me on Facebook heard when the father was mentioning that he didn't teach her well where she was, where she learned, and he gave the person my Facebook name. So the man added me on Facebook. I was doing a live video one morning like this after my workout. I was explaining what people who are migrating into tech should do. When the father reached out to me and said, you love what I do. You would like to have my number and discuss some things with me. He discussed with me and we established a meeting time. We met, and of course they paid my bill, and the class started. Several opportunities like that. Yes, people are looking towards to jackpot in this country, and many people see tech as an opportunity. Yes, my mentor in product design, just like I said, I did 1 year. She too, she was about 1 year last year. She's out of Nigeria now. She left around, I think, November last year. And before she left, she already have about 4 remote jobs here in Nigeria from different countries. 4 remote jobs. She was earning huge. So there are opportunities outside there. You can practically learn anything. You can practically be anything. Just take it one step at a time. Don't be in rush. Say, for instance, if you want to learn programming language, there are a lot of programming language. So if you are online, people will want to try to confuse you. Just look for a dedicated one. If you want to be a front-end developer, the languages you're supposed to learn is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Learn it till, if you want to use a whole year to learn it till you master it. People will be saying different kinds of language. Don't look sideways. Focus on your focus. Because if you keep switching from one language to another language, from one language, you will not gain expertise. Focus on one. When you have now know that you are master in this, and you've been able to build some basic projects with that, then you can start considering another language, maybe backend or maybe data science, maybe machine learning and all that. So my major advice is that go online, make your research about what you want to do, the profession you want to do. start to learn them using videos, YouTube. There are some courses on Coursera, Udemy, and all of these places that are free. Some are paid. I advise that you invest. Have the money, invest in all of these courses. Buy them, learn them, watch them. Don't just keep them. Don't just keep videos and just let it be there. Let your interest, let what you intend to be, let it fuel your passion. Let it fuel the reason why you are watching these videos non-stop. When you're doing practice, it is very important. Practice. I organized 100 days of coding for some guys, and some people, they are just there. When I say, well, post your post for today, post your code for today, they didn't count it until those ones that are serious started building projects. That was when their eyes opened. When we were first learning the basic, they did not take it serious. They were just there. If I say post your code, they will not answer. But I say the few ones that were following up the class, when they started building their project and we were seeing it, that was when most of them start running to my inbox and start asking me, how do we go about it? I want to join. I want to do this. So I would like to summarize now. So just like I said, make sure that you take advantage of YouTube, learn. If you need to get a mentor, build projects as you learn, then talk about your experience on LinkedIn, especially talk about what you're learning, connect with founders, and trust me, the day your opportunity will come, it will be sitting pretty on your lap and you won't even believe it. So thank you so much. Thank you. I would like to stop here. Thank you. Okay. They want me to explain. I'll quickly explain the front end and back end. So front end is the user side of it, the client side of the website or an application. The client side is the page where you visit as a user. So when you come to a website or web application, the things you see, the function and the buttons and everything, those are the client side. These are the jobs of a front end, how beautiful the site is looking. That is the job of the front end. The things that you do not see, the server side and the back end, these are the things like managing the data. Maybe you submit a form now, you don't know where your data go now. Your data must have went to a database or something. So the back end are the ones that handle majority of the things that you don't see on the client side. So thank you so much. I'll stop here.
Thank you so much, Ms. Toyin. Thank you. You can unmute your mics and say thank you, or you can drop it in the chat box. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. Look at my book. My book is almost full. I don't know if you can see it. It's like it's full, front and back. I wrote down quite a lot of things and I learned a lot from this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Questions. And I don't know if anybody, I know we have questions. So please, if you have questions, indicate by raising your hand and I will call you. Please, if you have a question, before I ask my own, I would like us to ask ours and then I'll go ahead and ask mine. So please, if you have a question, just indicate and then I'll let you ask your question. Or while we wait for you to think about the question that you want to ask, please, Ms. Toyin, I have a few questions for you. They're not a lot, but just a few questions to clarify some things. So you talked about programming languages. So what are some of those programming languages and their uses?
Okay. I mentioned earlier that we have different programming languages. Now it's even many. But if you are looking to go into something like web development, and we have the front end side and we have the back end side that I just explained. So I usually advise that you start with front end. And front end are hot cake now. Don't let me lie, they are hot cake. They're looking for them almost everywhere. So if you want to learn front end, you do HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML, like HTML,
Yeah,
then CSS and JavaScript. So
JavaScript,
that's
that's the front end.
yes, that's for front end. If you are now looking to do back end, you can now learn a program like PHP, Python, C Sharp, C++, several other languages. But for me now, for my backend, I use PHP and Python. But there are
Okay.
several other languages. There's C Sharp, there's C++, there's R. There's a lot of languages.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So somebody raised a hand here. Vanessa, please, you can unmute yourself now and ask your question. I saw.
Thank you very much, Miss Toyin.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear
Hi,
you.
thank you very much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much for the enlightening lecture. My my question is, tech, it's most times deals with trending technologies and all that.
Sorry, Vanessa, I can barely hear you. I don't know if our speaker could hear you.
Yeah,
Can
it's
barely.
kind of
Can you
cracking.
hear me? Can you hear me now?
It's very low, like very, very low. I can't hear you.
Okay,
Hello?
please go ahead. Yeah, I think
Hello,
it's
okay.
better now.
Tech.
Yeah.
Okay, tech most times deals with trending technology. Like now, blockchain technology is what's in vogue now. So I want to ask you said sometime in the lecture that it's okay, it's better for you to learn a particular language and focus on it that
Yeah.
and make sure you're expert on it. But what if when you are focusing on language, you find that most opportunities you meet are like based on the new trending technology. So I want to ask, like, when you find yourself in a situation like that, what do you suggest?
Okay.
What's your suggestion?
Good question, actually. Okay, I have an experience based on your question. When I was working for my previous boss, the person that I first started programming with, there was opportunity that came to me from Chevron. It was a very easy opportunity. No, sorry, the network. No interview, nothing, just to carry my bag for the day that I'm supposed to resume and walk into Chevron, collect my tag and start working. But when I get there, the language that Chevron system was built on was ASP.NET, and that's not the language that I write. So the opportunity went to someone else. Does that make me feel sad? Yes. Do I look towards learning ASP.NET? No. Why? Because I know that my opportunity will come. There's a time that you don't want to confuse yourself, because trust me, if you learn this now and you say this is trending, you will be surprised that they will come back to that thing that you said is no longer trending. Tech is very crazy. And you still see that it's now, and people now are talking about Python, hey, Python this, Python that, and neglecting other languages. You will be shocked that there are some companies looking for that other languages that they are being neglected, and the fields that are still writing these languages will not have great opportunities. Sure, you get. So I've been hearing a lot about Web3, a lot of things. People, does that make me want to change? No, not until I am perfect with what I am currently into. Then I will consider maybe learning another thing. But that I will be changing. The truth of the matter, if you change, another one will come. Do you still change and go and learn that one? If you change this, another one will still come. They will still be, just take and focus. Your opportunity will come and meet you. Everybody has their perfect time for their opportunity. When I was sad about the Chevron experience, my boss just pat me at the back and said, I am very confident that your opportunity will come. So that's just it. Don't get that's why I mentioned in my when I was speaking, don't get distracted. Focus on what you're learning. Focus, master it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful explanation.
Thank you so
Ah,
much.
yeah.
Thank you. You did justice to the question. So maybe I just want to do a quick recap of what she said. Say, master the one you're doing. Like if you keep jumping from one trending one to the other, to what end? Like when will you stop jumping around? Let's say data analysis is trending this year. You're in data analysis and you've not even finished mastering the programming you're doing. Like she said, except you have mastered the one you're doing, like you have it at the tip of your fingers, then you can now comfortably move over to another one. Now, it's not bad having a lot of tech skills, but make sure that you have mastered at least one that you're doing. You feel like, okay, this year data analysis is trending. Next year, something else will trend, and then the upper year, something else will trend. And if you don't master anyone, that's how you keep jumping. You just keep learning, just learning and learning and
You even
learning
be
and learning.
frustrated at the end of the day. It will
Anymore.
frustrate you out.
Exactly, exactly. You won't even be a professional at any of them. So, like she said, just be a master of one. And then if there's another one you have interest in, go there too and master it. But don't jump from one to the other because this one is trending where you've not even mastered the one that you were learning before. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I muted my mic. I'm so sorry about that. Izuchuku asked a question. He said, which of the tech courses earns more, which tech skill can you gain now that you earn a lot of money, or which one will pay you more than the other? I think that's what he's trying to say in his question. And then he has a second question. He said, do you have any online book for guidelines for all that you've explained? Do you have any book, any guidelines for those that want to go into tech? Do you have anyone you wrote, or do you have anyone you want to recommend? So he asked two questions: which one can pay him more? And then secondly, do you have any book, like a guideline for those that want to go into tech?
First, okay, for the first question, um, which famous? Truthfully, there's no specific tech course that pays more. It just depends on the kind of opportunity you get. Eh? There are some people who get a very simple tech skill like technical support, for instance, and they are earning in millions.
Wow.
And somebody that will write code from morning till night all over is not even earning up to them. So it just depends on the opportunity you get. You can get a web development job that is paying you 2 million, and somebody that is into machine learning that is even more serious might be earning 500,000. So it all depends on the opportunity you get. That's basically it for the first question. I don't have a book, but I would recommend some. Maybe I'll share them with Chidima after the class so that she can share the book.
All right, thank you so much. I'll be expecting that. So for me, I have a question. I don't know if any other person has a question. Please indicate if you have a question. Okay, Chinyere, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Toyin, thank you so much for the lesson-packed statements and lecture. My question is somehow funny, but I'm really confused and I need to ask this question. These terminologies and languages used, are they only streamlined to computer, like computer sciences? Are there some tech languages that are pertinent to particular field of study? Let's say engineering has C++ languages that is only used for those in an engineering field. agriculturists, they can equally venture into all these tech stuffs. So that's my question.
Okay, if I get your question now, you're saying, is there a particular language that is assigned to a particular field?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, okay. It's not like there's a particular language that is assigned to a particular field. What is important is what is the field looking at when it comes to technology. What do they want to achieve with technology? So you say in agriculture now, somebody wants to come with a company wants to come up with a product whereby it solve basic farmers issues, or how to get tools, how to get this. They don't need a particular this thing. They just need a programmer that can write a solution for them. The programmer can write it with any language as long as you understand it. So it doesn't mean that okay, because it's agriculture, it's C++ that they use there, or because it's pharmacy, so it's JavaScript that they use there. No, you can use your language to write a solution. Any language that you learn, as long as you can write the solution that they are looking at. So as a PHP person, now if a company reached out to me that they want to do something like this, I will tell them, fine, okay, no problem, we will do it. And we will build it with, I'll build it with my language. The only issue they might not have is that when the job is done and they need to carry on with the job, or maybe they need management, they need somebody that understands that particular language. So if I'm writing their application with PHP, if they need somebody in the future to manage it, that person must have a basic knowledge of PHP. But that a particular language is assigned to a particular people. No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hope she answered your question, Chinyere.
Oh, very well.
All right. Vanessa, please, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much for answering my previous question. Okay, I've come with another one. Okay, it's about building confidence as a freelancer. So, like, is it okay to accept works and offers you have no experience on? Like, you just know how to start, and you can get people around to help you do it. Like, I just
Thank
want to
you
know,
for the
like, about
question. Yes. Thank you for the question. Yeah, I said thank you for that question. I think that question has to do more with the kind of person that you are. If you're a resourceful person, then there's nothing wrong with getting jobs, even if you don't know anything about it. As long as you are so resourceful that you can get people, okay, I need this, I want to do this, can you do this, speak to this person, let's come together, I'm getting this contract, let's work on it. That's the way, I won't lie to you, that's the way of millionaires. Some of them don't really have a particular set skills, but they know how to contact job. You get a job for 5 million and you award it out for 3 million. You're making 2 million. The most important thing is that the job is done and it's done perfectly.
True.
So that is it.
Vanessa, I hope your question has been answered.
Yes, very well. Yes. Okay, I have another question, please.
Okay, please ask.
Do you offer mentorship programs?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
Jennifer. Okay, are you done with your questions, Vanessa?
okay, yeah. So, okay, I also want to know how to contact you.
Chidima will get across to you.
Okay, just reach out to me and then I'll give you her contact.
Okay,
I'll drop my number in the chat box just in case you don't have my number. I'm dropping it right there now.
Thank you.
So Jennifer Opera, you raised your hand. Please ask your question. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right. Thank you so much, Toyin.
Okay,
my question is, in these languages now, like let's use UI and UX design as an example. Does all
Okay.
of them require coding? Like coding? I do hear a lot about coding and all that. Does all of them must be code?
Okay, UI UX design is not has nothing to do with coding. So what UI UX designers do basically is designing the product. So if you have an app now, you're looking to have a app for your business, you're supposed to give it to a UI UX designer. Aside designing, there are other things that a UI UX designer does. They help you to determine what the users are likely going to enjoy on the app, how smooth the app is going to. Is this something they are going to like? Is this something they're always willing to come back to? Then they will now post the design of this app together. So when you visit your bank app now, you see the way it looks, the buttons, how it's being placed. That is basically design. UI UX, that is just product design. They don't code. It is when they are done that's why I said they work together with developers. It's when they are done that they will now move to developers. That we've designed this thing now develop it exactly how it's just like, let me give you a perfect example. An architect will draw your house. When they are done drawing it, they give it to the engineers that want to build. The engineers will now carry out this exact structure that they draw. So that's how UI UX works. They draw the app, the way it will look, everything, the responsiveness, and they now give it to the developers. We are done. So yeah, develop this thing for us.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much. So in this case now, can I ask another question?
Yes, you can.
Okay. In this case, you said the US designer works hand in hand with the developer. Then
Yeah.
what if does it mean if in an opportunity or in a case of employment, you have to employ both of them at the same time, or you have to employ them differently? I don't know if you get what the question.
Yeah, no, not exactly. There are some companies that have a team of tech guys, ICT. So some of them has developers, some of them have product designers. So product designers are basically working on the graphics of whatever product they have. Then developers are developing it. And some don't have, they can give it okay, maybe it's developers they have. They can give out the contracts to UI designers and say, please, we are looking to develop one product. Can you come up with the UI for us? Our developers will develop it. They don't necessarily have to work hand in hand. They are separate professions. Just that they work hand in hand. Whatever they do, the next step, whatever UI UX designer do, the next step is what developer will now work on. Once they are done, they give it to developer. Their own job is done. They can go. So if you are contracting that out, they will just design it for you. Then you bring it in for your developers. They will develop it.
Okay, thank you so much. So, but let me just like recap what you just said, like
Okay.
how I understood it. So you meant
Okay.
that this UI and UX designer,
Yeah.
after whatever they have designed, the developer
Yes.
over. So I made
Yes.
mention of
Work on.
again a
Yeah.
team of like in a company they have a team of product designer
Yes.
and developers. The product
Yes.
designer, I don't know UI US designers, or are they
Yes. They are
different?
UI UX designer.
Okay. Now I get it. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you so much, Chidima. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So I have a question, more like a
Okay.
continuation. For those that do not want to code, you know that people that tell you that I want to go into tech, but I don't think I'm interested in anything coding. So apart from UI UX, is there any other tech skill that somebody can acquire that doesn't require coding?
Yes. You can do technical support. You
Okay.
can do technical writing, tech support. You can do technical writing, and data analyst is trending now. If you can do a little bit of coding, it doesn't involve much coding. In fact, it works more with Excel. You know how to use Excel very well. Just a little bit of coding in the advanced stage, a little bit. So data analyst is strongly advised now. If you are not looking to do so much coding and you want to be in tech, it's hot cake now. Data analyst is hot cake, and people are learning it crazily now. So you can do UI UX, you can do data analysis, you can do technical support, technical writing.
Okay, thank you so much. I have one more question. So do you have like a support group, or can you recommend a support group, or maybe a Facebook group or Telegram or WhatsApp group that people that wants to go into tech or already into tech can join? You know, people of like minds can join. Do you have
Yeah,
anyone that?
I actually, funny enough, I actually started my group this week. Started on
Wow,
Monday.
wow.
Yes, and that's when
Wow.
we started our 100 days of coding on Wednesday. So we are just about 2 days into it. Whoever wants to join can join. You can still catch up. I did a video today where I explained everything that we've been doing from Wednesday. So I will share the video. But the name of the group is African Tech Net. African Tech, then Net. Net is NERDS.
Is it on Facebook?
Yes, on Facebook.
All right, thank you so much. Maybe I'll get the link and then share
Okay,
to
I think
the.
I saw that too. I saw that on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate. So maybe by way of recapping what you said for how you can assess opportunities in the tech space. Number one, you Google about tech professions and know the one you are interested in, do an interest test, and then you have to maximize YouTube. A lot of people do not even know how much of like knowledge is in YouTube, like free knowledge. Maximize YouTube. There are a lot of YouTube videos on data analysis or any tech skill that you want to acquire. Then you have to invest your time. It's one thing to download video, and it's another thing to watch it and really practice. You need to practice over and over and over again. Invest in courses. You need to buy courses and use them. Not just buying courses, buy courses, watch them, and then practice, and then get a mentor as much as possible. Get a mentor, somebody that will guide you, because even if you buy those courses, there are some questions you cannot ask video question. You need to have somebody that you will ask a question and then talk about your experiences, be visible on LinkedIn, talk about the things that you do on social media, because that is how people will see that you're doing a particular thing. So thank you so much, Ms. Toyin. We are really grateful. We can't even say thank you enough for all the things that we've learned tonight. I'm not sure there's anybody here that wants to go into the tech space that left here confused, or will leave here confused. I'm not sure. Thank you so much. Because even myself, I got clarity on a lot of things tonight. Thank you so much. We are really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you
So
for having
everybody,
me.
thank you. You can unmute your mic and say thank you to her because
Thank
she
you
has.
for having me too. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
Thank
if
you,
you need
thank you,
her,
thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.
We are grateful.
her contact, reach out to me and then I will send it to you. Please don't go yet. To have a special announcement to make. So the Double-Edged Impact Network is organizing a conference for young women in March, and it's going to be on the 12th of March 2022. It's a Saturday, so we're not going anywhere. 11 p.m. to it's just 11 p.m. at least. Anytime we'll finish, then that is it. So the link to register for the conference will be in the chat box right now. And if you have any inquiry or you want to volunteer, you want to be part of the organizing committee, you can reach out to me. If you don't have my number, please, my number is on the chat. Just jot my number there. If you have any inquiry about the Double-Edged Impact Network, if you want to join either the Match Club or the Double-Edged Impact Network, you can reach out to me or reach out to Sir Victor. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Without you, this webinar wouldn't have held. Imagine that we came up on Zoom and then there's nobody here. You guys are the real MVPs. We thank you so. I'm so
Please,
sorry.
what's the
Not
venue?
11 a.m. I'm so sorry. It's not 11 p.m. Please Pardon me, it's not 11 p.m., it's 11 a.m. I'm so sorry. The venue is on Zoom. It's going to be on Zoom, so you can
Okay.
access it from anywhere you are in the world. The venue is going to be, it's going to be virtual, it's going to be power packed. We're going to be having 4 thought leaders. We're going to have a range of things to talk about. The team is above the line. So Double Edge doesn't do any kind of mediocre stuff, you know already. So please save it in your calendar, 12 March, 11 a.m. The link to register is in the chat box. And if you have any inquiry, you can reach out to me. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I am really grateful. On behalf of everybody in Double Edged Impact Network, we are grateful and we say thank you for joining us tonight. Without you, we would not have been here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you
much.
again. Thank you.
Good night.
All
Thank you.
right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night. You look
Bye.
good.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Thank you.